Hi, my name is Rachel Gallahawk and I'm a local preacher, and I also attend the Herongate Methodist Church when I'm not preaching. St Andrews has a fascinating history, and it was opened and dedicated on May the 30th, 1881. It became a Methodist church on November the 4th, 1977. So in 2017 it celebrated its 40 years as a Methodist church. Herongate is a small village, well, it's a big village now, but it's a small part of the Brentwood area, and it then flows into Ingrave and then it flows into Brentwood. And it's on the main road that goes between Brentwood and beyond and up to Tilbury into Thurrock. As we come into the church, there is the flexible seating and the wonderful stained glass window at the front. The church is used for, or has been used for, craft events and all sorts of events to encourage local people to come in and have a look, because they're always curious about Herongate and about what the church is like inside. And as we move towards the stained glass window, this is a famous window designed by Pugin. This window is on loan from Ely Cathedral, obviously a very long loan. But it is a beautiful stained glass window, especially when its colours go onto the carpet when there's bright sunlight. Since COVID, we now have services fortnightly at Herongate. We have a small congregation, sometimes 10 people, sometimes 15, and so we meet fortnightly. When we're not at Herongate, we go to the other churches. So moving out from the main church into the room, the Wesley room. So this is the other entrance that comes into the church, with a vestry, one toilet, a supersized toilet. I always say you can have a party in there, and a small vestry room, and then into the Wesley room itself. The Wesley room has been enlarged since Methodist took over, so they doubled the size of it, and we have lots of different groups that use this. Spiritual directors, we've got the Click and Chatter group, and other local organisations hire it out. Click and Chatter are our knitting group, and they do tend to knit quite interesting things. And this is one of their nativity scenes. And this is the back of St Andrews Methodist Church, where there is a grassy area and some benches at the back. And this is the community garden, which was set up a few years ago, led by the minister and his wife. They are avid gardeners, and they have a small group of local people and some church members who look after the garden. Originally these are allotments, so there are many allotments here that are hired out to people, and this area here was an absolute mess. Nobody looked after it, and it was just full of weeds. It was amazing. Actually, now if you compare the photos from previously, totally different place. And there's all sorts of things grown here, and they meet every week, usually up until winter. Usually December into January they don't meet, but they meet usually on a Saturday morning between 9 and 12 and have tea and coffee and a chat, and obviously do lots of gardening. So you've got fruit trees, you've got the glass house, you've got vegetables grown here, and there is a small pond area. What I would say is that when this was created, much was thought about the environment, so everything that could be recycled and reused was, and we dug up quite a lot of different things on the ground, but there's some beautiful flowers and plants, and this is open to the public. It's open to anybody who wants to sit or become part of the group. It's a wonderful place to be, and just like the church, it's a very prayerful place despite being on the main road. And there is something about this place and the church which invites you to just sit and dwell and be. And there are little hidey-holes in the garden as well, where you can sit despite the noisy, busy road. As we look across, and that's the rest of the garden. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour of St Andrews Methodist Church. As you can see, it's an interesting place, got lots of history, and a very welcoming congregation.